Hello everyone, good evening, Rose here. Tonight I'm reacting to Foodie Beauty's newest community post where she's broke and she's literally on her post begging people to send her money. So for those who are unaware, right now Canada has some storms going on and there are some power outages going on as well. Foodie is in Ottawa. I'm not sure if her area is going through a power outage. There might be areas with the power still on, but she made this community post where she says, I guess she's going through a power outage and she's telling people to send her money. And people in the comments they're not having it. They're not having it at all. She's getting roasted in the comments. And I wanted to react to this before she gets rid of the post. So let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see what I see. So here's the post. This post was made 48 minutes ago. The post says, looks like this power outage might last a few days. Not sure what we will do. Pete and I may need to take the cats to a night's in situation until power is restored. We cry for food and shelter. I hate to, but I will e-beg. If anyone wants to help, my PayPal is, or we will repay you by endless beesing, LOL, and promise of future financial responsibility. Thanks, guys, and see you when we can. XO. If you can't help, it's okay. Anything is appreciated. So Miss Foodie Beauty, Miss I make so much money, actually made a post asking people from her community, people that make far less than she does, to send her their money because allegedly there is a power outage going on in her area and there is no electricity in her home. Now, I'm someone that I grew up in Tampa, Florida. And growing up in Florida, when you live in Florida, hurricanes come through quite frequently. So you get the threat of hurricanes, you get severe tropical storms. Anybody who's a Floridian, that's just something you got to deal with if you live in Florida. And sometimes the power might go out for an hour, it might go out for a day. There was one period several years ago where the power was out in certain areas of Florida for over 3 weeks. But here's Foodie, the power, if it did go out in her area where she lives, the power just went out. So if it did go out, she doesn't know if it's going to be turned on in an hour, in a day, in 2 days. But before she finds out, before she kind of tests the waters a little bit, already she's begging people for money. And I want to go over this post and pick out the tricky language here. She says, looks like the power outage might last a few days. Well, it might, or it might not. But in the meantime, you're asking people for money. You're not even going to just go to bed, go to sleep, wake up and see if the power is back on. It might be back on tomorrow morning. All you got to do is just light a couple of candles tonight, chill out, maybe sit on the balcony or something and wait it out till morning to see if the situation improves. Let's see. Also, she says she needs to take the cats to a night's inn. No, you don't. You don't need to take the cats to any hotel. They're fine where they are. Foodie, where you're at is not in the deep winter where you've got very low temperatures. It's like spring, summer. So the temperature is not below freezing and it's not blazing hot. We're not deep into summertime. Why do the cats need to go to a hotel? They're fine where they are. They can stay at the house. I find it offensive that you're coming to people and you're acting like you don't have a place to stay. You have the villa. You can stay in the villa. You already have shelter. You don't need to go anywhere else. It might suck a little bit that you are at the villa and maybe you don't have electricity to, say, run a fan or something, but all that stuff around you is completely workable. You may have to rough it for a day or two, but it's completely workable. So she says, we cry for food and shelter. You already have shelter, ma'am. You already have it. You're living in a house. You already have shelter. There's no reason to leave. You're not someone that you need a respirator or something. You don't need to leave. Pete does not need to leave. The cats don't need to leave. And if you do need shelter, you've got relatives. You can go to Natter's place. I mean, there's a variety of options here. So why are you coming to the general public and saying we need money to go stay at a nice hotel? You don't need to go to stay at a hotel. You know, this power outage just happened. You might wake up tomorrow morning and the power's back on. You know, just chill out and see what happens. Next part of the post, she says, we will repay you by endless beesing. She beeses anyway. How is her beesing to the benefit of her members? Beesing means her misbehaving, doing the edibles, doing the wheel edibles. How would that benefit her members? How is she paying people back? By buying wheel edibles and getting high in front of the camera. I don't get that. I am promise of future financial responsibility. Yeah, sure, right. Sure, Jan. We won't believe you unless you gave your money to somebody else who's more responsible and they dole it out when you need it. Because if you got it, obviously you're not managing your money well because it's 2 days before payday and you're broke. You're flat broke. And whose fault is that? You made a point to go to Burger King just the other day and get 2 Nashies and spend about 20 bucks there. And then you bought a Starbucks drink. So you spent $27 on garbage. And now because you're stupid with your money, you expect other people to compensate and you're going to try to profit off of the storms and the power outages in Canada, because that's what it sounds like too. You're trying to take advantage of the fact that there's this occurrence of Mother Nature. And so you're trying to profit off of it somehow. As I said, the people in the comments were not having Foodie's nonsense, nor should they. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments for y'all because the people are brutal. We know says she's going to take your donations and send them right to Natter like she does everything else. Come on, VIBs, send him some more cash. Yeah, because Natter is doing a live right now, and he just got a shipment of groceries, $350 in groceries. Nobody can say for sure who paid for them, but we can guess who normally pays for them. And isn't it funny that he just got this huge shipment in groceries and Foodie's over here crying broke? It kind of sounds like she gave him all of her money just to make him happy, and she thinks she's going to go to her members and get compensated for the fact that she gave him all of her money. You know, she's trying to make up what she lost by begging people to give her more money. Foodie, you get paid in 2 days. All you got to do is just hang tight for 2 days. You don't need to come to the public and put out this picture like you're desperate and you're out on the street. You've got a place to stay, even if the power is out for a few days. I'm sure you've got some canned goods in your kitchen. You can eat some of the canned goods. I mean, it's totally workable. You're not in harm's way. You're trying to profit off of the storm going on in Canada and to make people feel sorry for you, and I'm not buying it. Adonis Grocery Layaway says, thanks for the 350 purchase today for Natter's epic grocery haul. We'll email you for the receipt to your Hotmail. Yeah, he's got groceries and obviously she doesn't. Real Sugar says, we were out of power for 3 weeks after a major hurricane. We got a generator, plugged in the refrigerator, and got a small portable AC, and everybody slept in one room until it was fixed. Figure it out, Chantal. Yeah, she's 38 years old and she can't work her way around a problem. She expects other people to compensate her for her stupidity. I mean, she's got a home. There's nothing wrong with that home. It's not dead of winter to where it's going to be freezing cold in the house. She just wants extra money because she's broke and she wants the bees and she expects other people to pay for her bees. And that's pretty much about it. Boglum Whisperer says, how many more beezers do you think you'll lose for this one? Keep it up, Queen. I've been telling y'all here and over there. Those of you over there coming over here, she's a grifter. What did I say? I told you. Y'all been over there thinking it's just Natter who's a grifter. Chantal is a bigger grifter. He gets the money from her, but where does she get the money? She gets the money from all you VIPs, from all the viewers, the Google AdSense money. She pulls all that money together, and that's what pays for her lifestyle and his. Are you starting to get it now? Is it starting to sink in that she's a grifter? That despite the fact that she makes 10 grand plus a month, that she's going to keep grifting you guys until you finally figure it out. I mean, there's no reason for her to do this post right now. The power just went out. It's not even been a day. There's no reason for this post. She just wants to see how many gullible, stupid people there are that will send money to her PayPal. But if you want to send it, go ahead and send it. But I'm telling you, she's in no immediate danger. She's in no immediate need. If she spent all of her money to the point where she's broke, whose fault is that? It's not anybody else's fault. It's not anybody else's problem. She's got to grow up and learn sometime. And as long as everybody else is compensating her for her stupidity, she's never, ever going to get smart. Jay Haley says, why would you need to take the cats to a hotel because of a power outage? Kibble and fresh wet food do not need refrigerated, and fresh water is still available. You know what I find concerning? I did that react earlier today when she was in her room, and BBJ let out the most frightening yell I've ever heard. It's like the cat was in distress or it was very, very hungry. Chantal probably hasn't fed the cats. You know, she went broke, and before she went broke, she didn't have the sense to buy enough food. I really hope I'm wrong about that, but it just seems like too much of a coincidence that she was in her room today and BBJ just would not leave her alone. And she yelled like that, like she was really, really, really severely hungry and she hadn't been fed. And now here's Chantal begging on her community post saying she's broke. Chantal, why don't you have enough cat food for those cats? You always have enough food for you have enough money for your fast food. Why can't you buy enough cat food? Is it really that expensive to buy a month's worth of canned food and dry food? You've only got 2 cats. You don't have 16. You know, the way you treat those cats and the way you make them go hungry just turns my fucking stomach. 3R says, I can just imagine you and Pete huddled up in the dark, nervously refreshing your PayPal balance every 2 seconds, and it's making me smile. Yeah, I'm sure they are. They're like, oh, let's see how many stupid people fell for this. Let's see if they fell for this. Because nobody can truly confirm if her power went out. For all we know, Chantal is sitting in her house with full power, and people are just sending the money on through. There's no actual confirmation that the villa is out of electricity, but even if it were, she doesn't need to leave. The power being out is a minor inconvenience, but she doesn't need to leave. I know that she needs a CPAP to breathe at night, but she doesn't need to go to a hotel. She can go to her family's. Pete has his family. She can go to Natter's. I mean, there's always a workaround. She doesn't need to go to a hotel. And I do remember quite a few live streams where she said that she went over to Natter's and she stayed over there without her CPAP. So apparently she can sleep without the CPAP, although it would be risky. She's done it before. But suddenly her problems are everybody else's problems. Let's see. Oh, I love this comment. Babs McNabb says, last year on August 26, 2021, we went through Hurricane Ida. I am in Louisiana and the temperatures were about 95 degrees. I have a daughter that has two cancers, pediatric bone cancer and terminal therapy related acute myeloid leukemia. I have two cats that I adore. We were without power for 2 weeks. Eventually, we were without running water or sewer as well. I had to do daily to search for gas, pick up MREs and ice. I don't have a generator because I'm poor. My daughter is not only sick with cancer, but is also platelet and blood dependent. We bought a small wadding pool about 3 months before the hurricane, so we filled it up and stayed in the pool daily to cool down. Literally, I had no power, running water, sewer, and a dying child. Managed to make it through that for 2 weeks without asking for a single cent from anyone. Do better. Wow. You know what, Babs? I don't know you, but I'm so sorry you had to go through that, through Hurricane Ida with your child. You're a very strong woman, and I applaud you for doing all that, for being strong for your daughter and just getting it done. And you are a true boss bitch, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you are. Chantal likes to call herself a boss bitch, but the post you just put, that proves you are a boss bitch. You handled your business. You took care of your child. You took care of yourself. You took care of your pets. Ma'am, big applause for you for that. I'm sorry you went through that, but I applaud you for being so strong during that time period. And I hope that Chantal feels incredibly ashamed for begging when she doesn't have to beg. The Mad Chatter says, wow, girl, you probably make more than most of us. She makes more than anybody that comes to her page. And yet, despite the fact that she makes more, she has the audacity to beg for the little bit that her audience members have. And she does it without an ounce of shame. She doesn't even try to do for herself first. She's not making a post saying, oh, well, we're without electricity and we're trying to do this and we're trying to do that and we just can't get it done. No, immediately she makes the post. She's not even showing she's making an effort to handle her business. She makes it everybody else's problem. I'm disgusted. My stomach just feels sick reading this. I can't believe she's begging like this. Ryan Moody says, actually disgusted. Be an adult for once in your life and assume responsibility. All those hundreds wasted at Starbucks sure would be nice now. Yeah, wouldn't they? You know, it's situations like this that you save your pennies for. And everybody's been telling Chantal, you should save your money. You should put it away. Oh, no. No, she's got to spend every penny she gets as soon as she gets it. Got to give it to Natter. Got to buy his groceries. Got to give him what he needs. And then when she becomes broke, suddenly it's the audience's problem that they have to solve. People in her audience, they've got responsibilities too, but Chantal, she doesn't think about that. And so she goes to her people constantly looking for more money. JJ Twinkle says, ask Natter. He loves you and cares off camera, right? I'm sure he can cough up some money for you if that's true then. Exactly. That's her man, right? She loves him. So go to your man for some money. Say, hey, I'm going to get paid in a couple of days. Can you lend me a couple hundred for a hotel room to get through? If that's your man, why can't your man have your back? Why are you going to everybody else, Foodie? Another thing, she said she was going to go apartment hunting on Monday. So that tells me that whatever she's getting from YouTube is going to be a big check. But here it is, 48 hours until payday, and she's acting like she's completely broke. She has no access to money, not going to have access for a while. Foodie, all you got to do is just chill out and wait, and the money will be there, and then you get the money in hand. That would be the proper thing to do. Just scrape by a little bit for the next 2 days, be a little bit uncomfortable, and then once you get the money in hand, you can take care of things. That would be better than going to your audience and scraping at their pennies and nickels. Graveyard Flower says, ever hear of saving money for a rainy day? Good thing you actually spent that all on paneer and nashies. Foodie doesn't believe in rainy days. She never thinks it's going to happen to her. But again, we don't know if she's got a true power outage or she's faking it to see how stupid people are in her audience. I mean, she might wake up tomorrow and go, oh, the power came back on. after getting all the money on PayPal. Tell me she won't do that. I mean, Foodie cannot stay away from the camera. She just can't. You know, and this thing about, oh, we're having a power outage. That also might be a way for her to get away and see Natter, like the new excuse. Oh, we get a power outage. I can't live stream. You know, she's probably going to go see Natter. And then she goes, oh, well, the power was out and I couldn't get online. Grandma Mayhem says, why would you need to stay in a hotel? It's not like it will get too hot. You don't need hot water. You don't bathe. Light a candle or go buy a battery operated camping light. You don't really cook. You order out all the time, so you're good there. You really don't have anything of significance in your refrigerator, so go buy an ice chest and ice. Stick what you need in it. People sleep in the dark, so you're okay there. Yes, you can't charge your phone, but you don't need to be on the internet. Anyway, you can read a book by candlelight or flashlight. I don't see any reason why people need to give you money for a hotel. You will survive or don't. Yeah, you know what? As far as charging the phone, have seen those things, the little battery pack looking things that you plug your phone into them and they will charge up your phone. So if that's her main issue is keeping her phone charged up, she can get one of those somewhere at a discount store or something. I don't know. I don't know the name of them, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But Grandma's right. It's not freezing cold. It's not boiling hot. The temperature is pretty normal. She's got a balcony. They can open the windows if it does get a little bit too stuffy. There's no reason for her to go anywhere, especially right now. It's not even been a day. You know, like just go to sleep and things might be better in the morning. You know, she's asking for money way too early. Fanny V says, how the fact that we, yes, in Quebec too, have no power affect the cats. Seriously, I have 2 cats and it doesn't change anything. People giving her money are insane. Well, they're just stupid. They're just stupid. You know, word has gotten around about the storms and stuff in Canada. Some of them are pretty severe. And my heart goes out to anybody in Canada that has been severely affected by the weather. But this whole thing with the power outage, it's not a life-threatening situation. And it just happens. So she can stay right where she's at, eat a couple of cans of canned corn and be perfectly fine. Fundy says, talks about getting an apartment in Montreal as an extra place to film from, yet can't afford a motel for a few days. Gives away laptops, money, etc. Get real. Promises of endless beezing and financial responsibility would be like all your promises. Yep. Anybody out there trust Foodie with keeping her word about being financially responsible? And the fact that she's saying, oh, I'll repay you by beezing, that's a slap in the face. That's the beezing is for her. She's the only one that benefits. The people that watch her, when she beezes, when she's on the edibles, she's incoherent. How does that benefit the audience? How does that translate to fair payment for anyone sending her money? I don't understand. Oh, if you send me money, I will get on camera and act the fool and be high. And that benefits others in what way? Somebody please explain it because I don't get it. One says, I bet selling a laptop would get you some much needed cash in an emergency. Hey, you know what? Since you brought up the whole laptop thing, she does have a gaming computer. Why can't she go sell that thing, pawn that thing? It's brand new. She's never used it. She can get some cash for a hotel that way. So why is she coming to the people asking for their money when she's got something in the house that she can sell for money? Why can't she do that? Go find a pawn shop open somewhere, get some cash, and leave the people alone as she should. Nab says, I'm not going to donate anything, but I wouldn't mind hearing a little more about your suffering. Go ahead. Do I smell sarcasm, Nabs? I do smell sarcasm. Yeah, that's a scent of sarcasm. It's pretty strong. I like it, though. It's good stuff. KK says, Didn't you say $800 a month for an apartment in Montreal wouldn't break the bank? Yeah, she did say that. But she was counting on the money to come on payday, and that's how she's paying for the apartment. But it's 2 days before payday. So right now she's allegedly broke, but Monday she won't be. So instead of waiting 2 extra days, as she should, she's going to make her problems everybody else's issue. Dart says, should have smoked less weed, bought less takeout. The list goes on. You make more than most of us here, and you have to beg. That's beyond pathetic. Agreed. Agreed. Nab says, the lack of light is the perfect opportunity to play your OnlyFans. Is this my front or my back game? Oh my God. Wow. Oh, what a good comment. Thank you, Nabs. Doll in the box says, wasn't she bragging about how much money she makes just not too long ago? I believe it was in Cuba rates that she said, I make more money in 1 month than all of you can make in a year. It's so embarrassing that two almost 40-year-olds can't afford a cheap motel when it comes to cats, but she was in a motel with Natter barbecuing. Again, I say, why do the cats need to go anywhere? She's gone on record as saying that she can't even take BBJ to the vet because BBJ gets very anxious. She doesn't like the car rides, but yet she's going to take BBJ to a motel. Why do the cats need to go anywhere? Why do they need to go anywhere? They can stay there. It may suck to be in the dark a little bit if there is a power outage, but it's workable. It's perfectly workable. It may be boring, but it's still workable. Gina Channel says, wow, you're really a piece of work. What's up? Is Natter needing another weekend giveaway? Here's what I think. I think that whatever money she had in pocket, Natter needed money for his groceries, so she gave it all to him, and now she's dead broke and crying broke to her audience. That's what I think. I think it's more than a coincidence that Natter is doing a live right now, and he just got a crap ton of groceries, and then at the same time, Foodie is on her post saying, I'm broke. The two have to be linked together somehow. Rosewater says, drive Pete's to his mom's for a few days, and you go to your mom's. Today is payday. Are you trying to get money for Natter's new apartment? Give Pete 1/2 of the food in fridge and take him to his mom's. You take the other and go to your mom's. Great idea. You got two people. He can go to his mom's. She can go to her mom's. Gather up all the refrigerated food so it doesn't go bad. Take the food to both locations, and then once there's power, bring it back, and that way nothing goes to waste. Mandy Valdez says, I love how you're trying to use your cats to make people feel bad for you. However, you are quick to lead them home when you go to Natter's. Exactly. Exactly. She likes to use the cats as props, emotional props to trigger people, to feel sympathy, to give money up. But her cats are the same cats that she won't take to the vets. She won't take them to a groomer's. They're constantly running out of food. BBJ is always hungry. She doesn't really love her cats. She loves to use her cats to connect with all the pet parents in the audience, but she doesn't love them enough to actually care for them. I want to embarrass you for a minute, Chantal. I make a lot less than you, a lot less. And you best believe, ma'am, my baby girl eats. She's always got food. She's always got the dry kibble out. She gets her moist food twice a day. My baby girl eats. I will walk my happy self to the store if she needs food or cat litter or anything. Anything. She's never without something to eat. Never. So here I am making less than $1,000 on YouTube, way less than that. And there you are making over $10,000 a month on YouTube. How is it that my baby girl eats and your cats don't? Answer: because I'm a good pet parent. I take care of what belongs to me. I make sure it doesn't suffer. You look at your cats the same way that you look at a stage prop. It's just something to use for your show. You don't even look at your cats as anything important. They're just a way to get attention for yourself. But you make them suffer, and you will use them to try to beg money from people. You're a heartless, shameless, shameless monster that way. Let me tell you what, if YouTube did not have rules about certain things you can say in videos, oh, the things I'd be saying to you right now, the curse words that'd be coming out of my mouth. I would make a sailor blush. John Richards says, use the time wisely and give yourself a break from the internet. Read a book by candlelight, relax and stare into space. You don't need to stay in a tacky motel, and you don't need to exploit your cats to fund it. Yep. Yeah, making sure to mention the cats while she's begging for money. Making sure of that. Here's something interesting. I heard around the way a while ago that she was talking to one of her mods, and they were discussing this little scam where she would beg money from people. Looks like it finally happened. So you've gone all the way to the bottom of the well, have you, Chantal? That you're going to beg from people, and you're going to use something going on in Canada as an excuse to do so? Oh, there's a storm going on in Canada. There's power outages. I can use that as a cover to get money out of people. They'll understand. It's not a good cover. You're in no danger. I'm sure there's food in the house, and the cats don't have to go anywhere. I hope you VIBs are awakened all the way up right now. This outrageousness, I hope you're awakened all the way up and you see her for what she is. You've all been looking at Natter and saying, oh, he's the only grifter. No, she is too. She's attempting a grift. She's trying to play on your feelings and your emotions and play on what you don't know, because nobody is actually there to see if there's an actual power outage in her house or not. The fact that you don't know, she's taking advantage of that. Wake all the way up, y'all. Wake up. Wake up. This is needless begging. She's going to get money in her account. She's going to get several $1,000s apparently in her account because she wanted to go apartment hunting on Monday. She's not in any dire need. She's fine. Holly Go Heavy says, this should be your wake-up call. You're saving money for your addictions, but not shelter. And Natter won't help you when you have helped him. This is it. It doesn't get lower than this. Yeah, that's her man. That's her boyfriend. She called Natter her boyfriend. So if you're a girlfriend to a boyfriend and you're in need, shouldn't you be able to call on your boyfriend? How come he's not helping her? That's her partner, right? This is the guy that she wanted to marry, that she proposed to. She said, oh, I bought the ring and I'm looking at dresses on Torrid. If this is your man, how come he ain't stepping up and helping you? Why are you going to perfect strangers? It should be your partner that you go to, nobody else. Enola Ravenmore says, yeah, to add a little bit of salt, Monty from Stories from the Internet bought a beautiful wedding gown. He did? That's right. He got one before you could. Maybe if you held off Paneer for a couple of days, you could have snagged a number from Torrid to sit in the dark. Monty got a wedding gown? What would he get a wedding gown for? Did he get it to troll? Well, Monty has good taste. So I'm sure if he got a wedding gown just to troll Chantal, I'm sure it's fabulous. But I've never heard of Monty getting a wedding gown. That's the first I'm hearing about it. Bradley Joseph says, a single woman who pisses away $10K a month and is now e-begging people. You'd have to be insane to give her a penny. You know what the sad thing is? Some of the idiots in her chat will actually give her money. And she knows it. She knows that if she's got 200 VIBs, if she gets at least 5 sending her money, that's at least something in pocket. And she's looking for those 5 people. P.T. Barnum had a saying. P.T. Barnum said, there's a sucker born every minute, and Chantal's fishing for all those suckers. Suzanne Sylvia says most indoor cats, especially older cats, get really stressed out in the car and new environments. Sometimes it can't be avoided, obviously, but to frame this, you're doing this for the cats too, is dumb. Leave them in their normal environment. They don't care about the power. You do. No, they don't care. And cats see very well in the dark. You know, they're nocturnal animals, so they got very good vision. They can see in the dark. Being in that house would not bother BBJ or Sam. You know, Chantal would be the most bothered because she can't live stream if in fact they're without power. That's what really bothers her. This isn't about the cats and their welfare. And this isn't about Pete's and his welfare. It's the fact that she wants attention and she wants to live stream and she can't do it in a house where there's no power. That's basically what it boils down to. I'm sure that there's food in the house they can both eat for 2 days. I don't know if she's got a gas stove or an electric stove, but if she's got a gas stove, you know, you don't need electricity for that. I know this because I have a gas stove and the electricity's gone out here and I could still use it. You know, you can heat up food on a gas stove. You can heat up pots of water if you need to wash something. There's workarounds for everything. But the cats don't need to go nowhere. They're fine right where they're at. Taco Bell says, figure out how to last a couple of days with no power. This is something most people can figure out, especially when you get YouTube money any day and you need to conserve your battery on your phone. Yeah, turn your phone off, Chantal. Just shut down for 2 days. You'll be fine. You don't need to run through every bit of power on your phone. Momo says you just got paid and make way more than most people. Actually, Momo, I think the money that she had in pocket came from a payday loan. That's why she got money early, because payday is on the 23rd. So the money she got beforehand came from a payday loan, I'm sure. No Name here says her 13K check hit at midnight. She's scamming. Actually, I'm very sorry. I have to disagree with you. Today's the 21st. It's going to be another 48 hours before she gets it. I mean, I won't get paid until the 23rd because the next business day is Monday. Jamie Reynolds says, just bought a house. Can't be paying for your next paneer binge. Nor should you. Nor should you. Bell Bottom Blue says, we cry for food and shelter. This is a joke, right? Please tell me she's trolling. She's got to be trolling. Yin's Life says, yes and no since she added her PayPal info. You know, I hope she's not pulling a Natter. Remember that whole April Fool's Day thing that Natter pulled? Where Didi got online and said, oh, Natter's gone to jail, don't know where he's at. And people were so concerned on his side. They were sending money to Didi through his PayPal. And that very same day, he came back on and said, well, I did that as a prank. I was teaching you guys a lesson. Well, what about the money that people potentially sent to get him out of jail? Was that ever returned? No. So Chantal's fishing for money to see if people will actually give it up. PB says the only way someone will make changes is to remove the safety net and allow them to live with the consequences of their choices. Chantal is 38 years old, making more in a month than her VIBs, yet isn't prepared for a few days power outage. Let her figure it out herself, and she may learn the value of a dollar, being prepared for emergencies. You know what's sad? Chantal, you got a thing for older people, don't you? You look at older people as being ancient. You're always saying things about the elderly and people that are older than you. Girlfriend, I'm 51 years old. And if there was a power outage where I was, I'm good. I wouldn't be freaking out. I would be reading books and just keeping myself busy. Wouldn't bother me a bit. I got a gas stove. I need to bathe myself. I could just heat up some water on the stove and just take a bath that way. I can heat up food on my stove. I've got plenty of canned goods. in my pantry. I've got enough cat food to last a while. I'm good. So how is it that as a 51-year-old woman, I got my stuff covered, but you don't, and you make more than me? But you're right, PB. You know, the VIBs are Chantal's safety net, and they keep her from hitting the ground. And as long as she's got that safety net, as long as she's got that support system, she doesn't want to think for herself. She expects other people to always take care of her, and she needs to learn how to do it her doggone self. HSP says, you keep getting lower and lower. You never cease to amaze me with your actions. You make plenty of money off YouTube to provide for yourself, and Pete's Natter can take care of himself. Also, if you're a good pet owner like you claim to be, you would have adequate supplies for your pet. True, true. I mean, how can you be a pet owner and not have enough food for at least a few days? I mean, what does it take to get a few cans of cat food in a bag of dry cat food and have a litter box if you got a cat? I mean, that's not expensive. None of that stuff is expensive. Ooh, here we go. War says, also, remember her phrase from Cuba. I will manipulate the F out of you and you will eat it all up. When she comes online in a couple of days to apologize about begging for money, she deserves no sympathy. Yeah, Chantal went on record as saying that. I will manipulate the F out of you and then you'll eat it all up. This could be manipulation, guys. We don't know if she's going through a power outage in her home, but even if she is, it's not even been 24 hours. She's in dire need of anything. She just wants to get the money, I feel, to get a wheelchair edible and then get a little bit of food because she gave all her money to Natter like an idiot. Don't fall for it. Just think about what you do before you do it. Keefster says you were allegedly making 20K a month and now can't afford a few nights stay at a hotel. This is a really bad joke or you can't be helped. You know what? If she's in that situation, it's her fault. It's nobody else's responsibility. Rosewater says the cats are fine with plenty of food and water down. You and Pete's are fine. Buy the smallest barbecue you can find and some barbecue briskets. Exactly. Just get like a small individual grill. You can cook whatever you need there. You can heat up some water in a pan. There's no need for all this dramatics. Mama Whale says, I guarantee she paid for those groceries Natter was so proud of today and took her account too far into the red by doing so. Now she wants her VIB idiots to bail her out. Yep, that's what I'm thinking. Because as soon as he went online showing off the groceries, suddenly she made this post. I feel the two are linked together. Lindsay says, this has to be a joke. Someone who claims to make between 10K and 50K per month can afford a cheap motel for a couple of days? Wow. Even if you made half of what you claim, this is still beyond pathetic. If any of you give her money for this, then you should be smacked in the mouth straight up, e-begging like a pro now, shaking my head. Beautiful and Joyful says, if you need money, I'm sure Amberlynn can provide earrings for you to sell. Remember, Chantal, you said you were a hustler. Yeah, isn't she friends with Amberlynn? Can't she contact Amberlynn and say, hey, can I borrow a few bucks? You know I'm good for it. Why isn't she going to another creator that she's friends with and asking them to help her out? Why is she going to her own audience who are not making as much? New York C says, would you send any money if one of your viewers needed it for an emergency? No. I can answer that for you. No. Okay, next comment. Donna Stevens says, bread, peanut butter, jam, deck of cards, a book, cooler if you can find one. Emergency people will have info and maybe ice if it lasts through tomorrow. Hunker down like the rest of us do when this happens. At near 40, you should already know these things, but one thing is for sure is those roads aren't safe to drive on. Stay home and make do. Don't ask people to bail you out of minor inconvenience. Learn from this. Yeah, she's not in any danger. It's just a minor inconvenience, and I'm sorry that's no reason to go to people and ask for their money, that you're being inconvenienced. It's not our problem you're being inconvenienced. Sorry, we don't control Mother Nature, so why are you punishing for circumstances that we have nothing to do with by trying to take our money, Chantal? Riot Girl says, you don't shower regularly and order constant takeaways, but you have to stay at a hotel because you can't bathe or cook. Girl, what? Right? Hey, it's Dee says, the audacity during these difficult times for most of us to beg for cash because of an inconvenience. Disgusting. Yeah, that's something you're not understanding, Chantal. I know that you are far removed from reality, from the real world. You haven't worked in years. But the vid is still going on, and a lot of people are still affected by the vid. A lot of people have lost their jobs or their hours got cut. They're worried about their rent. They're worried about their bills. They're worried about feeding their children, their pets. They're worried about a lot of things. Yet here you are being inconvenienced, and you have the audacity to make the money that you make, and you're going to people saying, my problem is not your problem. I'm somebody, so you have to pay me because I'm stupid and I spend all my cash. So in the comments, people are ticked off, and rightfully so. Flying Undies says, do you realize that there are channels with considerably less subs, considerably less members, and less super chats, and yet they have regular generous giveaways and competitions, as well as raise money for people going through a really difficult time? What's your excuse, Chantal? The nerve of you to expect people to bail you out of something that you could have handled yourself had you acted responsibly. But no, you do everything to the extreme and then rely on your beaters to be there for you. Money advised to lend an ear, to be gaslit, yelled at, spoken down to, called names, lied to, and ignored. You really think you deserve it all through, don't you? That's the pathetically sad part. Uh, Chimera says, I have had to stay home with my animals due to a blizzard and no power for weeks. It is not cold now. You can stay home. Right. And if you can do that through a blizzard, Chimera, she's not going through a blizzard. She's not even going through a heat wave. She's fine. She's just inconvenienced. And Queen Chantal cannot be inconvenienced. Look at all the comments. People are pissed. Bell Bottom Blue says, you haven't been without electricity for more than half a day, and you're begging for money to stay in a motel? Haven't you repeated said you want to live in a cabin in the woods and go off grid? Thank you for bringing that up, Belle. She has said that. She's like, oh, I want to live off the grid. She would never make it. She would never make it. She has no idea what living off the grid means. It's a lot harder than it sounds. But she would never make living off the grid. Uh, Mama Whale says, first of all, there's literally no reason why you can't stay at home. But let's just pretend you can't. Well, you and Pete both are fortunate enough to have family nearby. Go stay with them or call them and ask to borrow money, or hell, get one of your infamous payday loans. She already took one out. I don't know if she can get another one. Freedom Smith says, I thought you were getting quite a bit of money this month, and now you're asking us peasants for money, the ones you manipulate the F out of so we can come back for more the next day. Pure desperation. Love that for you. A lot of people's heads are spinning like, is this real? Is this a joke? Yeah, she's not joking though. She passes out her PayPal stuff, so she's not joking. Shamu Pondu says, Auntie Tamjo would have sent the money if you didn't go off on her. Yeah, wah, wah. That's what you get for being mean to people, Chantal. Uh, FU Sheet says, I'm 100% positive your boyfriend would be more than happy to help you. This is the perfect test. He will take money from you, but will give you any, give it a shot. Get knocked to reality. Yeah, this would be a good test. I need money. Help me out, sweetie. You know, let's see if he actually does it. Random Nothing says, you just Ubered Koki $300 in groceries and anyone can watch his live. Rewind it and watch his surprise as he opens each bag. You Ubered it all to him. Every dime you got goes to your man and his woman. I feel bad you're doing this to your people now. You were just talking about getting an apartment in Montreal for Koki. Enough said. Yeah, he got groceries and here she's over here begging money for whatever. A lot of people are confused, like why she's asking for money. She's got a home, she might have some food in it. Why is she asking for money right now? Let's see. Miss Parker says, you got 13K coming in a few days. Y'all gonna survive. Yeah, just all she's got to do is sleep through the next 48 hours. If the power is out for 3 days, she sleeps a lot anyway. Just get some freaking sleep and sleep through most of it. Robin P says, go buy some canned food that doesn't need to be cooked. You'll survive. Ridiculous to ask for money for a power outage. It's actually pathetic that you have absolutely no savings. Why don't you write a sick beat about that? Yeah, go make another love song. Pathetic 2.0. Ah, good suggestion. Ballerina says, actually, you should just concentrate on cleaning all that apartment since you don't have electricity and nothing else to do. This is the perfect time to do it. Yeah, great suggestion. You got nothing else to do? Focus on your responsibilities and get them done and out of the way. People are outraged. A lot of people are saying the same thing. You make more in a month than a lot of us see in several months, and you have the audacity to come to us and ask for our money. People telling her that, you need to figure it out on your own. I agree. Ty Baby says, but Chantal, remember when you said you never said you didn't have savings in response to a snarky comment? So that then implies you have savings and you could buy your own food. Yeah, so she was saying she had savings. Well, I guess she doesn't. Suzanne Sylvia says, you don't even know how long the outage will be. Cats have excellent night vision. The sun goes down at 8:30. Neither of you work. You could charge your phones in your car or at your beloved Starbucks. You can go to your grocery store and buy produce and a loaf of bread. I mean, come on now. Yeah. See, isn't it really sad? People in her chat, people that are commenting are telling her all these ideas about how to rough it at least for a couple of days. You know, how is it that the chat is full of comments from people that can figure things out, but yet she can't figure things out? Let's see. Uh, No Name says maybe stop paying Natter and stop spending $5,000 on takeout. Yeah, that would help. People calling her shameless. Everybody's pissed. And they should be pissed. This is ridiculous. Someone who makes 10, 15, 20K a month and she has the audacity to beg? Really? Really now? There's not a single supportive comment in the comment section. Everybody's ticked off. Everybody's ticked off. Let's see. So all these comments are pretty much the same. Bell Bottom Blue says, please don't pay back with endless beezing. Your drug and food beezing addictions are what got you into this mess. Grow up. True. True. Her endless beezing is what got her into this mess. Her and that and Natter. So you know what? That's enough of the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this react video. What do you guys think about this whole thing? I think it's absolutely disgusting that she's going to people and she's begging when she makes the money that she does. And you know what? If she's making 10, 20 grand a month and she spends every penny on bullshit and she's broke, it's nobody else's problem but hers. And if she tries to come at people and say, well, I need money for cat food and I need money for cat litter, my suggestion, tell her to put that stuff on an Amazon wish list and people buy that stuff from Amazon. Don't send her money for it. And that way you know that your money is spent for the items specified. Don't trust Chantal. Don't trust Chantal sending your money for pet supplies because the money probably won't be sent used for that. If you want to trust that your money is going into the right place, tell her to make an Amazon wish list, put pet supplies on there, and that way you can buy those things and have them sent to her house. But if you put the money in pocket with Chantal, you know what it's going to be used for. If anybody wants to donate to Chantal, it's your money. You can do what you want with it. But as an adult, I think it's ridiculous that she makes more in a month than most of us see in several months. And here she is begging for money. This is insane. She's going to get paid in a couple of days. I don't know if she's going through a power outage, but it's no big deal. You just hunker down at home and read a book and play some cards and like pass the time. You know, she's got Pete's to talk to. She's okay. There's no reason for this begging right now. There just isn't. So that's it for this react video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching and please take care. Bye-bye.